Yep.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's live SEO Q&A sponsored by 38 Digital Market, press releases by Mr. Randy Roday. The link is below if you want to see the packages that are available. So make sure you check that out. And if you need more referring domains, you need a little deliverable for your clients, whatever it may be, that's the place to go. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Chris is flicking around here. Green.
I'm flipping around.
What's happening, Chris?
I'm getting rid of the green. Can I just have the TV? I like how it gives me like that nice bouquet. You know, like it's something in StreamYard. It's so nice. I love it. Little Chris put a little hole over here with a dumbbell. Little bugger.
Green Sunrise Podcast. Hello, Paul. Good to see you on one of my sessions. We just talk a lot of shit on here, answer people's questions on how to make money online. So if you do have any questions, please do feel free to ask in the chat and we'll do our best to answer them. And the same goes for anyone else. Honey is here. Let us know who you are, where you're from. We've got a full hour answering all of your questions. So make sure you do ram as many of them in as we possibly can. But yeah, the background, Chris, we were actually talking last night in Slorry's house about the screen. You don't seem to have utilised it as much as I would have expected.
I play with it quite a bit. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I've not seen much videos. Like I don't like see every video you do, but are you making use of it?
Well, not for the videos, but I do play with it quite a bit. Yeah. Well, you need to have a very long cord that allows it to connect to the computer. A very, very long cord. It's very fun. Yeah. I don't like how it looks.
Really?
You know what I mean? For a video, it's got to connect onto the TV, but then I'm drawing here. You could see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Why not just use a digital whiteboard? Like, why have the screen?
See, I'm glad that you took, because I always wanted one of those screens, and I'd never quite dived in as I normally do. So I was curious to see how much use you got out of it, because one of the guys that was in the house last night, he bought a big fucking one, like 65-inch.
Yeah.
One of those, and he's never used it, man. Never fucking used it. I'm like, that's like me. I buy all this shit. I just never fucking use it.
Little Chris uses it. I use it just for like drawing and stuff. Plus, it's kind of cool for going online. I made a few videos, but I have to have I need a bigger room. You have to have a wide open space to make it look crystal clear and stand off to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we've got some questions. We've got some people joining us. Maeve is here. Hatcher is here. Why is Google doing all of these updates? What do you think they're trying to do?
They're trying to make the search experience better. That's what they're doing. Yep. That's it. I mean, they're trying to make their product better. And they don't, it doesn't matter if they hurt a business along the way. That's irrelevant to them. It doesn't matter. They have endless people and endless businesses. So that's something I've learned. They don't care, you know?
Yeah.
I tried emailing them. I never get any responses.
Mark McShane is asking, will triggering a knowledge panel help him find a girlfriend?
Well, I don't know. Depends on what kind of girl you're looking for. Maybe.
It works for Kazra, so could work for you, mate. Could work for you, Mark. Back at Yar, is Money Robot the best tool for traffic?
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah. But what is Money Robot good for then, Chris? That's a better question. Obviously, Money Robot, back it, in our opinion, can help you get traffic, but it's where it's used in the sequence of events that's really important. So, Chris, where are you using Money Robot, if at all?
Well, currently not at all. I did get it secondhand to test out. Like we ran some tests on it. I tried the traffic out, the embeds we saw success with, but now I don't use it on client stuff. I don't use it on personal stuff. It's not part of the process. I don't really sell it. I did like making those diagrams. I gave out some of those, but that's it. It's not for me. And no, it's not the best tool for traffic, in my opinion.
So there you go. I still use it somewhere along the way, more for indexation reasons than trying to get traffic. But yeah, there are many other tools out there or other ways to get traffic. So yeah, niche edits, you might want to look at that. Anyway, Maeve is here. I don't know if I said hello. Sandeep, which is the best method to target local business? How are you targeting local businesses? Is that with services? Right, let's just say it's with services.
Well, what do you mean services? Like what, links and stuff?
No, just say you're a plumber and you want to target. No, what's the best way to target local? But I don't understand the question fully.
Well, and there's no one way. They all work together. It's a conjunction. So whether it's social media presence, whether it's your search marketing, ads, maps, videos, images, like I believe that it all works together. It's not just like, oh, I do this one thing. Like that's one traffic source, but you need multiple things going on at one time. And then for a business owner, you want to be in those three places. I want to be in maps, I want to be in ads, and I want to be in organic. So the trifecta.
Yeah, be everywhere. Google giveth and Google taketh, says Maeve. One site is 30% up, one site is 30% down. Play the odds game. Yeah, it's never just all upwards, is it, Maeve? There's always fucking something somewhere pulling you down. But that's the fight we choose to play.
And the clients watch it every day.
Yeah.
Every week they're like, oh, I'm up, oh, I'm down. I'm up, I'm down. Stop watching that. Jeez.
Tommy Finnan says, Money Robot sucks. I agree, Tommy.
That's how you really feel.
Yeah. Hi, Wazim. A LinkedIn user. How to improve communication skills professionally. You're asking the wrong guys. But can we give an answer to this, Chris? How to improve your communication skills? Have you done anything? Like, we're both as rough as fuck. But have you tried anything to try and improve your communication skills? Have you sought out any kind of coaching or advice from anyone? I've not, but I'm just curious if you have, Chris.
No, but I've definitely gone through a couple programs. I did watch lots of that Toastmaster stuff. But like I forget what, like Zig Ziglar stuff. I don't know if that's what you're trying to do. It's more like sales training, I guess. So yeah, like Zig Ziglar stuff, Dan Kennedy stuff. I even got Jordan Belfort's stuff. That was pretty cool. But nothing specifically for that. No, I'm sorry.
There are people out there who teach and coach this stuff. How well it goes, I can't really say. I've never went down the route of trying to do it properly, professionally. I'm good at the SEO side. I don't need to be a professional speaker, is how I see it. But I have got advice from many other people on how to do better YouTube videos, what type of content do people want to see, what type of camera should you use, what type of lighting should you use. So yeah, I have tried to make things a little bit better. Yeah. And yeah, but nothing wrong with trying to improve yourself.
Try to advance.
Yeah, that's all we want. Good to see you too, Wazim.
Yep.
You didn't see Chris on Ted's show yesterday. Were you due to be on there, Chris?
Yeah, I spoke with Ted though. Just had I had to run to Pittsburgh quick.
Cool. I'm sure you'll be on there in the future.
For sure. Absolutely.
Eric McDonald, when building citations, do you build citations to every page on a site, or is it primarily the homepage?
I mean, I like to build citations and niche specific citations to each location based landing page. Not all of them, but the top level page. So that's where we like to build them. So if I want to target multiple areas, say it's personal injury lawyer and I want to go for Houston, Austin, Dallas, I like to get those citations to each of those pages, regardless if I have another listing or not in that area.
Cool.
Yep.
There you have it, Eric.
And it doesn't mean that you have to go out there and build the top 6 again, like your Foursquares, your Yelps, your Montas, MapQuest. I'm also looking for niche specific, or it could be geo specific citations or directories, you know? So I like those types of links. Heck yeah.
Venkat, which is the best for getting traffic from USA? Which tool is best for submitting automated backlinks? Nothing I would say. So Venkat, using an automated backlink tool isn't likely to get you traffic from the USA as such, as a single strategy. But, you have to do SEO, target the USA, make sure you've got hosting in the UK, get links from the USA, make sure that Google knows that you're targeting the USA with that website. In terms of what tool is best for submitting automated backlinks, Chris, with websites you've got, and be honest, because I know you've got some throwaway sites that you probably just fuck around with, would you even throw automated backlinks direct to that website? Is it likely to move the needle in any way, shape, or form?
Nah, generally it's going to be to a tier. Like we're looking to point that stuff at stuff that already exists or links that already exist. So no, definitely not, especially like client work or something that I'm allocating money, time, and resources and mental resource towards. No, I wouldn't run risk.
So just take that on board, Venkat. If you want automated link building tools, you've got RankerX, you've got Money Robot, you've got SEO Autopilot, GSA. They're probably arguably the top 4 that are being used by many in the industry. If you want to do that and you know what you're doing, by all means, Money Robot is one to consider. Money Robot, SEO Autopilot, RankerX, and GSA are the ones to consider. That's what I meant to say. But they all do different things. GSA is probably by far the hardest in terms of a learning curve. Money Robot is start a new campaign and send your links, but you don't have as much control. So there's benefits to different ones have different benefits, if you like.
Scrapebox
for
those comments, those are handy. And I saw a couple little strategies where you could get lists like what's it called? Those sites where you could look up built with.
Yeah,
you can buy like big master lists and then just scrape off of that.
Fuck. Interesting. Scrapebox though, yeah, there's 5. The Scrapebox is arguably the oldest, but yeah, decent tool. So,
it's pretty old.
Yeah. Can you explain content optimization and how to write? Still, how to queries or topic or not? I'm not entirely sure what the last bit means, but explain content optimization, Chris.
Content optimization, depending on the primary keyword and the location that you're targeting, or national, or like what's the intent of the SERP, we want to take a look and see what Google's rewarding. So I'm going to optimize my content based upon what's being rewarded in the SERP. So that could mean word count, header counts, images, videos, entities. There's a plethora, a list of optimization tweaks that you can do. So that's content optimization. right there. Figure out what the intent is. Figure out what Google's rewarding. There's your blueprint. That's it right there in a nutshell.
Vlux, what is the best way to rank with a local business website? Picture, text, video, backlink?
Or all, right? So what's the best way to rank with a local business website? I mean, you have to take into account all those elements, right? But I think what you want to make sure of is you're staying hyper specific to a certain topic. Like if you're a plumber, okay, we're doing plumbing. Like I don't want to start seeing solar panels on that site, you know, so stay specific and stay in your lane. Also too, pick your top levels, go after your nationals, go after your states, go after your cities, and keep those silos tight. Also, on top of that, we hate doing it because it doesn't convert well, but supporting content and beefing up internal links and building depth of concept is massively impactful. So there you go. That's the best way to rank.
Haji, want to ask that each niche varies when it comes to the AI content, as I think there are some niches that we can cover perfectly with just AI content, while some are really up to human writing. Do you see niches maybe not working as well with some AI content, Chris? Or do you think that's down to competition levels? Because my argument here, Haji, I can't see it being niche to niche. What I would see is a lot of people doing a lot of localized stuff with AI content in non-competitive markets, and it works very, very well. If you try and use the same strategy in the casino niche, it's not going to fucking stick, because you've got people with far better optimized websites and far more powerful websites. So my argument wouldn't be it's niche to niche whether Google accepts just AI content. I think it would be down to the competition levels in that niche more than anything. But that's my opinion. But Chris, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the niche by niche doesn't make sense to me. I could see that having a personal flair, I guess, maybe might perform better in some niches. I don't know how a computer could decipher. I don't know. You know, well-written AI content is just as good as well-written content. So with that being said, what else was the other piece of the question? Just AI content. There's not much more to add there, Craig. I think you hit the nail on the head. Yeah. Low competition AI is great, but there's a lot of other factors besides just content. So some markets, it's not going to work. But is it because of the AI content or all the other factors? Hard to say.
Yeah. Very, very difficult to say. But it is what it is. Everyone's going to have a different opinion. You know, what I can say, Haji, is I can't get AI content to stick in competitive markets the same way I can in local markets. Is that because it's better optimized content out there? I believe that's the case. I don't believe it's the AI content. You know what it's like, Chris? You try and do some AI shit in casino and expect it just to shit out a well-optimized article in the casino niche. It's just not going to fucking work. End of story.
Well, yeah. Well, how much content's going in the casino niche too?
Yeah.
Right. It's just games, you know? So yeah. Probably. Are you writing out content for crypto casinos?
No. Not crypto casinos specifically, but casinos in general, yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway. Michael, good to see you. Long time no speak. Any thoughts on service providers listing services as products on their GBPs?
Service businesses, your service is your product, you know? So I do it all the time. I see lots of businesses doing it now. I like to give as much optimization as possible. It says clearly within the guidelines, they want you to fill it out fully. So I take full advantage of all the opportunities that Google gives us. So definitely, go for it. Put them in there. Now, don't go stuffing them in. But if I'm going to list out my 4 primary categories inside of GBP, and then I'm going to put my main products underneath those 4 categories, highly effective. And then we could back that up under the service tab. And then I'm putting out my posts going to those pages. And then I have the pages on my website to back it up. I'm not like making up services or making up products. It has to be equivalent to a page on the site. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
And he knows way more about that local bullshit than me. He does it all day, every day. So I've got nothing to add, Michael. Fuck GBPs. They're a pain in the tits for me.
And it's been a long day doing them. Not gonna lie.
XSplit Broadcaster, a major power up for all live video, says Amon Johns. Tommy Finnan, are you guys still building video citations, and are they still effective? Are you doing it, Chris?
Only for the top level pages. So for instance, if you have a personal injury lawyer, and the personal injury lawyer has personal injury, truck, car, bus, malpractice, right? We're going to build the video citation for each main top level, like, you know what I mean? Like a unique video. But as far as like each city and each state, nah, just the top level pages. I think that's just for, you know, the reward to the time that's involved. Like the benefit that you get for the time investment isn't worth it. You know what I mean? But it is worth it because on those top level pages, I now have those pieces of content and I get the video citation. You know what I mean? And then I usually can win those SERPs too. Like I can at least show up. That's all.
And Amon says citations should go to where you need the power. That is his take. And Amon has been in this industry as long as anyone. So his take is always a valid point to consider. JP, good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Eric, what is the basics for promoting your business in social media? How often should you post? And what is better for selling your services versus informative posts? Trying not to spam my audience with selling posts. Chris, we have both said this many, many times. Offer value up, Eric. Informative content wins all day long, in my opinion. By all means, I know you're here to make money. You're here to sell. But offering value up front, information, you know, guides, case studies, whatever it might be, has always worked well in my favor. For me, the best way to sell is not to sell, because you just piss people off if it's just buy this, buy that, buy that, buy that. And Chris, I'm sure you'll be able to back that up. You know, you put out as much content as anyone on YouTube over the last few years. Probably the most content over the last few years of anyone, offering a lot of value, which in turn has inflated your turnover, bank balance, and everything else. So the proof is in the pudding. You don't always have to sell. By all means, he will say, I sell services, I sell this, I sell that. But in a lot of cases, I think you probably argue that 80% of your stuff's informative, Tis, maybe more.
Yeah, maybe more. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Only recently I started leaning towards at least adding it into, at least trying. Because like I've talked to so many people, they're like, hey, I've followed you, or hey, I was on your newsletter, whatever the case is. And they had no idea that I had any service. And I'm like, what? So like, I think there needs to be subtle hints. Like you don't need to make dedicated videos on sale, but or whatever you're doing, blog posts, pages, like, but you definitely have to include it. That's for sure.
You'd be insane not to. We're all here to provide for our families and whatnot. So do it. Just be not spammy. I'm not saying not so spammy because I don't know if you are spammy or not. But yeah, I think a good 80-20 in terms of information is probably a nice mix. Is it possible AI is the future of backlink services?
I haven't seen anything that would suggest such a thing. Have you?
I mean, you could twist this in many different ways. Have I known anyone to respond to something like a Harrow request with AI content and get a link? Yes, of course. Have I seen AI being used to generate guest blog posts? Yes, I have. So yes and no. Do I think we can somehow push a button and all our links are going to be built for us? Absolutely no chance. Not a chance in hell.
No.
Not in the near future.
And I keep seeing those videos and I'll like watch them and I'm like, oh my gosh. It's always like some twist and I'm like, wait, I actually have to do work. I just wanted a backlink.
And like I've said before, we'd be the first in the queue to buy something like that if it actually fucking worked.
For sure.
But how that can work, I'm not so sure. LinkedIn user, but there's just so many small variables, and what Chris thinks is a good link, I might think is a bad link. I want a link from websites that have got traffic, rankings, blah, 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 blah. He might just care about DR or whatever. So everyone's slightly different. So a one-size-fits-all link AI tool, I'm not sure how that would work, but here's hoping. If it does come out, I'll be in there trying it out anyway. Dirk, good to see you, big man. Hope the weather's good in Malta. Jonathan, what is the best way to replace traffic death with FAQs and how-to schemas? People also ask, with semantic is a good way. What's traffic death?
Traffic death, as in like what, the site is plummeting? It's losing all of its traffic?
I'm not sure what this traffic death is, or if that means there's a typo there, but even let's make the assumption that he means that page is plummeted. Would you go in and do the schema, the FAQs, and so on and so forth to a page that's dying? Is that likely to help?
I mean, there's a lot of factors there, but generally, no, the first order of business would be go check Search Console. I'd be looking at, well, what's competing? Like, did something else take that traffic? And why did that happen? Did you build links there? Is there internal link flow? I wouldn't go ad work. I'd go and look and see, well, what, there is no mistake. You made a mistake somewhere along the way. Like there's been a mistake. So you have to go and find that. You either have to find it or just push forward. But I wouldn't go back, and not until I've assessed what it is. And then I would start running. But like just going in and blindly doing how-to schemas and FAQs, no. That's not what I would do, my friend. What about you, Craig?
I mean, if a page is dead, it's dead. I don't think FAQs and schema is likely to have a massive impact. Would I go in and add FAQs, schema, and all that kind of stuff to a page that was winning?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Or before.
But certainly, I would need to understand why the page was dying. And if it's just because that page is shit and not relevant, or, sometimes you just need to get rid of it and try a different angle. So, it depends on what's going on with that page. But certainly I would be looking at this saying that's what I'd be doing to a page that is working very, very well for me. So there you go. Haji, homepage versus page backlinks. Which one is more effective? I'm featured on brands like Bustle, MSN, and many other big names. But do you think I should focus building more links via guest posts? So there's two questions there. Homepage versus inner page backlinks, Chris. Which one is the most effective?
Well, they're equally effective. I mean, they're both parts of your off-page SEO campaigns. Like, we need to get the authority and the brand to the homepage in order to establish brand. But on top of that, I need authority to rank for specific keywords or phrases, right? So I think they both have a place in my heart. So there's not one that's better than the other. So,
and
what's that?
The other question he's got, is he's got some of those big publications, the MSN and all that kind of stuff. Should there be more links like that versus guest posts? Or is there...
Well, I mean, if you have the budget and the product to carry that type of investment consistently, then yeah, of course you want to go with quality. But if you're in a position where you need to cut corners in order to achieve a position, like get in position, then guest posts can help you. But I think it's always better to go quality over quantity if you can afford it. You know, no one's going to ever debate you on that one.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps you, Haji. Dirk, niche edits. Are you using any of these for money sites and or pages, or only tier 2? Dirk.
Edits. So I think, I mean, I've gotten some different inventory lately. So I've been noticing like there's different, there's a lot of different types of edits, and then there's inserts, right? So if it's a .ru or a .cc or something that's just not .com, .net, .org, or .info, then no, I'm not going to send that into the asset. Now, those types of assets I will send to the tier 1s to power up. But if it's like a .com, .net, .org, .info, .co, .us, something that's legitimate with a nice piece of traffic and it's on top level homepage or second level, I'll send it in. But it's got to go to like a blog though. I'm not going to send it to a money page, but I will send it to an internal buffer for sure. So if I build out like a supporting piece of content to support a primary service page, heck yeah. Why not?
All I would say that the answer to this will vary again wildly. I have got friends, I'm not going to name names, but they're like, why can I not use an edit direct to the money site? Why not? You know, it's your site, it's an edit, it is what it is. You can do it. The reason that I would advise people to use it in a tier 2 level is obviously you want to try and hide what you're doing from the client, the competition, lower the risk, you know, in terms of potential penalties towards clients and stuff. If it's your website, or I know what niche you work in, Dirk, if your superiors who pay the bills are happy for you to do that, then I don't see why you can't, you know, have some in there. We all know the risks. But like Chris says, there's an edit and then there's an insert. I'd be very careful with the inserts. Yeah. But
that's fun.
An edit, I don't really see there being anything wrong with it. I know that's probably likely to get people going, oh, you fucking dodgy motherfucker. But yeah, why not?
I love an edit.
Yeah. And they're cheaper than a guest post. Way cheaper. So why the fuck not? For you, Dirk, I think the answer would be yes to the money website. But on to Emmanuel. What do you make of Amazon SEO? Do you fuck around on there much, Chris?
I don't. No, not so much. I mean, I had a couple little, you know, little sites, but no, not trying to rank on Amazon.com. No.
Don't do much of it myself, Emmanuel. Sorry. If anyone in the chat can help, give us an answer in there if you want to chip in with some advice. Venkat, no problem at all. 88 Manu Man, how effective would CTR manipulation be for local SEO in your experience, assuming backlinks, technical SEO, etc., are all on point?
Yeah, I run into that a lot though. But is it right? You know, is the on page, the technical, and the off page on point? Like, is it tight? Are you in position? Are you in position, say 7, number 5? Are you at page 1 and you're just looking for that edge? You know, like, are we starting to compete in those top 3 spots, or we're trying to go from 5 to 3? Like, that's where I think it's going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more helpful, because if you were to take your position from number 20 to number 10, that's a crazy jump. but you're still number 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would make sure that you have all the other factors in place first, and then I would start maybe looking at CTR and traffic. People are looking for that silver bullet, but if you don't have the factors in place, you're not going to go to number 1, number 2, or number 3. You know, I've never seen that. Have you?
Nope. I would always say CTR's the icing on the cake, the last thing you would do. But that's just my opinion. Lucy Smith. Hello, that's a new face. Don't recognize you as a regular Lucy, so good to see a new face on here. Reason to design. Are you seeing a huge boost in local for building EEAT since the August update? So are you seeing that being a big thing in the kind of local markets, Chris?
Yeah, but I don't look at it that way. It's actually what really shifted my thinking with the EAT, right? Or I don't know if the double EAT is. I don't know if that's something different or a typo. However, what shifted my thinking was, you know, that gentleman that we went to that conference in London, I forget his name. He's an interesting guy, black hat guy, sold the company.
Peter van de Graaf.
Yep. He did a presentation, and it made me start looking at pages differently, more from a structural standpoint, meaning like, is there pictures? And do those pictures actually go to like a review page where they actually talk about the person that left the review? Like, is there certain schemas? Is there like every little aspect of the page would build trust in that page? So that talk made me start looking at pages differently. And that's what we've been focusing on with like the lawyer sites, like looking at the top players, like who are the top players? What do they have? Oh, they have like an Apple. They have a Apple thing. They have the Microsoft. They're, you know what I mean? Like I'm looking at those types of things. And I do think that plays a part in local markets and SERPs. And that's what I've been using. But as far as like, oh, the terms of service and cookies and, oh, I have like a Wikipedia link or something. Nah, that's not what I'm looking at. What about you?
Reason to design. So I've got a friend who's got a lot of local websites, and we were talking about the EAT stuff last week. Now, he doesn't have a lot of that stuff going on his local websites, but his websites are popping after this August update without EAT. Are you going to get a boost because you've already got EAT in place? Maybe for sure, but he's getting a boost and he doesn't have it in place. So is it the EAT that's giving you the boost, or something else? Would be my question. I see many local websites that have literally no, EAT at all, that perform really, really well. So I don't think it would be the EEAT, because I'm not going to. I could easily pull up this guy's websites. They don't even have his fucking name on his About Us page or nothing. The author shit's all over the place. It's not even consistent with the name that's on the About Us page. So I'm not so sure. Reason to design. But good that you've got a boost. If you have, I think it's the right thing to do, to make sure you have all of those things in place. Will it become a bigger thing in the future? I'm sure it will. So I don't think it's a bad thing to have in place. That's for sure. Tiago, which SEO on or off page should we consider for a temporary promotion if we want to have an increase on KPIs like sessions, clicks, CVR, demands?
I think we're going to be looking more at the on page. Like if the KPI is going to be the session, the click, I think that's going to be a lot more to do with the on page once you actually get the person there. Now, in order to get them there, though, I have to be ranking or I have to be showing up in other places. So off page can play a part. That's actually a tricky question, don't you think?
Yeah.
They kind of work together. But I do feel, though, that the on page is more important. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you can get a considerable way with just on page. Michael says, if they have a services in the product section, should they also list those same services under the services section too? So that was that GMB product section question from before.
I generally I won't. It depends on the client. Some of them don't like when it's not listed inside a service, but it's in product. But when you go inside of your services, it's clearly laid out that they'll list the primary service is based on your primary category. Everything else that you add is going to be considered a custom. So you can take it upon yourself to go in there and add all types of customs, but you know, it doesn't hurt you either way. So you can add them. You're not going to get like a boost, but some clients don't like when you don't have anything in there. It's just the primary category because that's the main service. And then you list out all your products, all your services are here. And you get an edge here. You get an enhancement here. In the SERPs, underneath your business, the 4 categories link to those pages. You know what I'm saying? Like they're evident. The services, man, they're like hidden, aren't they? Jeez. Yeah, that's a hot one though. He likes that. I would add it in. See, I mean, are you on the fence or something? Or add it in. I know it seems odd, but if you're a service-based business, your product is your service. It's not against the guidelines, and I assure you it's highly effective.
Yeah. Cool. Next question from Honey. Does Google penalize the keywords cannibalization?
What do you mean by that? Penalize for keyword cannibalization? Like you are being penalized technically, algorithmically, right?
Yeah.
Why? What do you make of that?
I mean, I don't really understand the question. Like, keyword cannibalization is a very real thing. And it happens all the time. Does Google penalize? I mean, you're not, if you've got cannibalization going on, in my opinion, it's going to hamper your website. So Google doesn't understand, is it that page? Is it that page? That's the problem there. Is one of those pages, so anytime I've seen it, it basically, if I've got another competing page, it's like that's pulling my main ranking page down. So I've seen, for example, I've been in page 1 for something, and then this other page pops in and they're cannibalizing against each other. It's basically pulled the 2 of them down to page 2, the 2 pages, until I resolve the problem, and then bing, it pings again. So is there, I'm not sure penalty is the right word to be using there, but is there a problem with it? Of course there is. Massive problems. It's one of the most common things that you see across websites. People have got multiple pages targeting the same fucking keyword. It's insane. It's insane. So yeah, it's very much a real thing is all I can really say on that. But I'm not sure if that answers your question or if I've understood the question. So if I haven't, please do ask again. Dun, good to see you. As always, dudes. Haji, how much do you think is enough to be considered well covered topically when it comes to content velocity? Your take. That depends on the topic, Haji. You can't say how much is enough. You have to cover the topic as much as you possibly can if you want to perform as best as you possibly can in that industry. The biggest problem I see, Haji, is, again, going back to the previous question, people try and cover a topic and start to repeat themselves with all these other pages. So rather than having 5 big monstrous articles that cover the full topic, or 3 or 1, they've got 1 big article and 10 competing articles, and 9 of those articles don't do shit because they're all targeting the same thing that's on page 1, which is getting all the rankings, but potentially harming it. So I don't think I can sit here and say a number or velocity or anything, because it's going to change from niche to niche. But there's lots of different tools out there to try and help you identify the the full topic cluster in general. And then from there, you need to decide, what's the pillar post? What are the supporting articles? Does that need a supporting article? Or can that supporting article be placed in the main page with a subheading? So that differs from niche to niche, in my opinion. But Chris, what's your take on it?
I mean, you can get really carried away. That's my take on it. Because I see a lot of websites getting really wild with this stuff. Because at some point, isn't everything semantically connected? Right? At some point, you can talk about everything at some point. So when is enough enough? That's for you to decide. Have you covered the topic entirely? Have you answered all the questions? Are you hitting the pain points? Are you starting to get traffic? Are you fighting with yourself? Are you competing with yourself? Are you cannibalizing? So I think you answered that very well, Craig.
Yeah.
What else can I say?
Amon says social media is always so dependent on niche and audience interest. Nobody wants to be hearing about proctology every day, not even proctologists. A very good point. Yeah, got to add a bit of
flair,
a bit of fun into the mix. Jesse, saw your auto blogging video, nice results. What's your number one tip after doing it? The couple of key takeaways, Jesse, on that particular test, as we call it, is that long form content is working very, very well. Writing in the as a first person rather than a third person, which a lot of AI does, is also something that I feel is quite important. And yeah, they're the two top tips I can really say. It all comes down to the prompts and everything else that's put into these tools. And obviously that particular tool works very, very well and provided amazing results. It's literally push button, boom. So there's not a lot in terms of strategy or any kind of weird and wonderful schema or anything funky that was added in there. Literally just let the tool rip and churn out the 1,162 articles.
Nice.
And obviously, after analysing it, I think the content length is good. And as I say, that first person thing, I think is really important. And I have noticed for anyone who uses Koala Writer, which was my previous best tool, they've also added in the different person modes that you can write in, whether that be first person, second, or third. So, yeah, it's pretty much not much to add other than what's in the video, man. It worked well. How long will it stick for? Who knows? But you've got the domain, so it'll be interesting to see.
Watch and see.
Yep. Yeah. Michael, any SEO events coming up you think might be interesting? Chiang Mai SEO. You've got World of Search Conference out in the Philippines, which is on in the next few days. That's all I can read. There's one in Bulgaria, in I think it's between the 10th and the 12th of October. SERPConf. Those are the next 3 that I'm attending. But other than that, there's probably events all over the world. I think you've got Rockstars in November. I think Holly's got an event in December. I don't even know anymore. I am no clue. There's that many. So, yeah. Hopefully that gives you a bit of food for thought, though, Michael. But, yeah. Thanks for your argument. No problem.
Anytime.
Does a 302 redirect maintain the source page ranking in Google? So does a temporary redirect maintain the source page ranking in Google? It's supposed to.
That is not always. Not always. Like, not every time will that page stay. So not always. No, not always.
Not always.
Not always.
I'm on saying Brighton SEO running their first USA event, which will be different. Something worth watching, I think. That is, I forgot all about that. They're actually doing it in San Diego, maybe end of October time, I believe, or round about there. Be interesting to see how well that works. Yeah, fingers crossed.
Brighton SEO.
Brighton SEO coming all the way to America.
Nice. Thanks, Brighton.
How to target advertising agency for needing building services. How to target advertising agency for need building services. Oh, no. There's another one. How to target advertising for an agency that needs link building services.
Oh.
Don't spam them. Do not ram. Don't do the dear sir. And don't just start the conversation with some bullshit small talk. And all of that stuff is fucking horrendous. How do you get into an agency and get them to buy up your links? I mean, it must be horrific. There's so many link builders.
So hard.
And the reason that I say this, LinkedIn user, is I get 100 messages a day, as probably everyone in this fucking chat does, saying, "Dear sir, how are you, Craig?" And you know, "Dear sir" is the most famous one. Do you want to buy a nice guest post? I'll do you good price. And it's just ridiculous. It doesn't interest me at all. So it's just block. I don't even care if they're good. They've got good links. I just block them because of that horrible.
Lovely. Lovely.
So I think you need to. How would someone be able to get to you, Chris? How does someone get into your inbox and make you want to buy the links? What the fuck have they got to show you?
It would have to be fire. I mean, it would have to catch my eye, or it would have to really somebody would have to put me onto it, like, and say, "Hey, check this guy out." Like, that's how it would have to get to me. Or it would have to be like something insane. You know, like they led with like Forbes HuffPost for 1999. That might get me in there and like, whoa, what's that? Like, I got an email the other day. I forget what company it was. And they're like, Business Insider, $199. Whatever it was, I forget. And I was like, really? It was something hotter than Business Insider. It was something good, man.
So it's the price. That's what you want, is the price. That's where you're going to wake up and go, you fucker, that's a good price.
Oh, if it's huge value and low price, I'll start taking a look. But usually it has to be someone else. They have to say, hey, check this out.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps your LinkedIn user. Maybe go in with a few
low agency. That's a whole nother ballgame, though. Sorry to cut you off, Craig. Because really the only way that an agency would go looking or go shopping is that the current provider isn't performing. But like once they get somebody, the probability of them going shopping and going somewhere else, nope, not going to happen. Very difficult. Very difficult.
Very difficult. Glenn Chamisa. Good to see you, Glenn, and was good to meet you at Brighton SEO as well. Is it possible to estimate a timeline for when a new site will gain traffic for a client? The $1 million question. You get a new client, Chris. How much time do you need? Or what's the expectation you're setting in the client's head?
I tell them we'll rank for our name and we'll start getting people looking for us almost immediately. But for primary keywords, depending on what the service is or the practice area and the location, that could be anywhere between 3 to 8 months. But whatever I think it is, I'll usually say it's going to be a little bit longer. But who knows? Really, though, I really don't want anyone that's not on their way to position. You know, like they have to already have the asset in place. It already has to have a year, like a little bit of age. Like they're on page 2, page 3. There's clear things that need to be done. Like their on page is horrible. They don't have any links, no referring domains, but they're a real brand. They've been in business for 5 years. They have local recognition. They've been in the papers, like, you know, that kind of thing I love, you know, but they're just slacking on that SEO. My favorite.
Nice. Nice.
And it's not possible. Like, not truly. Right? Yeah. Did you ever, when you were running an agency, did you give them a timeline? Not a specific, right?
Not specifically. I didn't say you are going to make X in, you know, X amount of months. You know, I think you always have to buy yourself time. So, Glenn, having run an agency and worked with clients for many years, clients go through this sequence of events where after 3 or 4 months, they're going to start to shit their pants. They're still not going to see a great amount of improvement, and they're ready to stop paying you. Yep. I think if you can get them between the 6 and the 9 month point, where you can show significant difference, that is the kind of sweet spot. But that obviously differs from client to client, from area to area, from niche to niche. You know, some clients can see things a lot earlier, but I would basically set someone's expectations saying, expect to get nothing in the first 6 months. You know, we need to create some content. We need to build up some links. We need to do this. We need to do that. All of the kind of things that are required. And most times people will come to you and they've got a website with 5 pages on it. You're going to have to spend the first 3 months just doing the content strategy. Unless they've got bucket loads of money, you can do things a little bit faster. But what I have done in the past, Glenn, the same as everyone else, is use the old, you start to see a big difference in 3 or 4 months. The minute that 3 or 4 months comes on, that's the key fucking time. They will be on your fucking case like you wouldn't believe. And for me, you need to buy yourself more time. You know, things are taking longer to get indexed. It's just, it is what it is. And setting that expectation level, if you outperform faster, then happy days. But yeah, it's a difficult one. Just keep them paying. Use some chat. Keep them paying for 6 months. Then hopefully, if you're doing all the stuff in the background, you know, with your SEO strategy, then you should be able to show them some decent movement and a decent increase in traffic and conversions in that period of time. August 30, FAQs and how to was down to hopefully to everybody less government and health websites. In my case, my traffic death, 0 mobile visits, desktop 70% less. So the website did tank from Jonathan. Not good. Not good.
Not at all.
Last few questions, and then we need to go because Chris is in a rush. He's
I
am. What's the difference between an edit and an insert, Chris, in official terms?
So an edit is on a page that is already existing, right? Usually niche specific, and they're going to just, you know, make a brief edit into the page, generally on a site that is being controlled by the site owner or you know, publishing staff. An insert generally is added to a website, usually down in the footer, maybe sometimes in a sidebar, or maybe you don't even see it, but then you check the source or the render DOM and poof, there it is. Generally, I think that the inserts can be considered a lot more dodgy, and the edits are usually a little bit better. There you go.
SERPconf Amon, run by Nikolai Minikov or whatever. I don't know how to say his surname, but yeah. But yeah, he's the man that's running that. So it's not Big Jerry's event. But guys, sadly, we are out of time, and we have loads more input, questions, and all that kind of stuff that we're not going to get round to just because Chris Palmer's got to go and catch a flight.
Well, that's not till tonight. But still, I do want to take a nappy. You caught me.
But there's a lot of good feedback in the questions. You forgot to mention the main Brummy one. Thoughts on Google Gemini, Chris?
I don't even know what Google Gemini is. Am I supposed to?
Yeah.
Why? What is it?
Google's AI.
New AI? Oh. Nope. Didn't know.
Didn't know. We shall see.
I'm still using Palm.
Easy to. So Amon says, turn the agency question around. If you build and maintained an agency, who would you want to work with? Someone reliable, dependable, easy to work with, and above all, not annoying. It's a good way of looking at it. Everyone wants to do twins once on their bucket list. ZD Electrical says, cheerio. But guys, we do have to go. Let Chris get a nap before a 25-hour flight or whatever the hell it is. But thank you for all the questions. Sorry we couldn't answer them all, guys. Check out 38 Digital Market. The link is below if you're interested in a PR blast. And we will catch you at the same time next week.
Yep.
See you later.
See ya.